Hi, I'm Colleen Black with Keller Realty, and just thought I'd check in with you to give you a little bit of a real estate update and what's going on in the area and what we're seeing. I'm here in our kitchen making dinner, but trying to multitask, if you will. Anyhow, today I had the opportunity to meet with some new buyers, and one of the things that I'm concerned about is if they're viable buyers, if they're qualified, and I'm hoping that they are, but I think that's something that every realtor has to be concerned with, and at some point in time you have to trust people and trust what they say. So tomorrow I'm going to meet with them and show them a couple of properties and see how it goes. But I think every realtor's probably worked with people who just kind of like to look at houses for a hobby, so to speak. Another thing I was thinking about today is we have talked to a lot of realtors who are having a banner year. They're busy, they're selling houses, they almost are can't really keep up with the activity level. And we've been real busy too. But we've also had some unusual challenges this year that we haven't had in the past, and it's kind of concerning. And I would have to say that one of them that we have never, one of the challenges that we've never really had to deal with before happens to deal with houses being in floodplains. Apparently, I was not aware of it, but apparently last February or thereabouts, FEMA redrew a lot of the floodplain maps, and it's kind of changed things up a little bit. I was probably in the last couple of weeks, 2 different homes that we were working with that turned out to be in floodplains that I guess apparently previously were not. And being in a floodplain is not necessarily the kiss of death, but it can be very expensive, or it could hamper future sales. So we've really kind of lost 2 sales have gone down because of the houses being in floodplains. The process seems to be that once a house is determined to be in a floodplain, the sellers should hire a surveyor to do it like an elevation survey. So depending on where this elevation survey comes into play, will dictate what the future home insurance or flood insurance premiums are going to be. Well, in one of the houses, it was going to be a few $100s a year, not all too bad, but the other one was going to be $3,000 or $4,000 a year. So my heart kind of goes out to the sellers, because when they purchased the property originally, it was not in a floodplain, and now all of a sudden it is. So now whenever I'm showing a house to any of our buyers, the first thing I do is I go right to the tax records and look at what is it zoned at, because if it's in a floodplain, if it shows that it's in a zone AE, as an example, I know that could potentially be a red flag. Well, the other day I was looking at some properties, new construction in Hoover for a client, and it showed AE, and according to the listing agent, they've already done the elevation surveys, and it's just the back of the property is in a floodplain, and it's not going to cause the insurance premiums to be any higher than normal. So all I'm saying is it's really a good thing to pay close attention to that. Why go through the inspection phase and appraisal phase and everything else if you're buying a home only to find out it's in a floodplain, and then you might want to walk away from it. So my takeaway from the last couple of weeks is that something normally that I hadn't been on my radar as much, that maybe we need to look at closely every time we are working with a new property. So be as it might, floodplains are something new to us that we've never really run into too much before. So when they say houses the last couple of years, sellers have been underwater in their mortgages, now some of them are underwater just being in a floodplain is really hampering the sale of their houses. So anyway, I just thought I'd cover that. It's something I was thinking about and has affected us in the last few weeks that never had before. So anyhow, thank you so much for looking in today, and we'll catch up with you next time. Thank you so much.